The Black Parade is the third studio album by American rock band My Chemical Romance. It was released in Europe in 2006 through Reprise Records, and it was produced by the band with Rob Cavallo, who is known for having produced multiple albums for Goo Goo Dolls and Green Day. It is a rock opera centering on a dying character with cancer known as the Patient. The album tells a story of his apparent death, experiences in the afterlife, and subsequent reflections on his life. It's the band's only studio album to feature drummer Bob Breyer before his departure in 2010. The Black Parade has received generally favorable reviews, and the band achieved its first number one single in the United Kingdom with Welcome to the Black Parade. The album debuted at number 2 on both the Billboard 200 and the UK album charts, and is also certified as triple platinum in the United States. 4 singles were released from the album: Welcome to the Black Parade, Famous Last Words, I Don't Love You, and Teenagers. In 2020, Rolling Stone ranked the album number 361 in their 500 greatest albums of all time. Amazing, Brad. Amazing.
Yeah,
Still
I wouldn't
alive.
have put it, Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm pondering the Black Parade, as we should. What do we call this time period in music? Is this the noughties or the aughties? Or the,
Yeah, it was the noughties back then, wasn't it?
We call it the noughties? Is it? Fucking hell, what is wrong with people?
Well, it was called the noughties, but people gave up drinking and started doing energy drinks in nightclubs. Political correctness was on the rise.
But it wasn't quite there yet, Yeah.
People were wearing black eye makeup, the emo thing, hair straighteners. There was a lot of hair straightening accidents.
There was a lot of hair straightening.
Videos.
Chain wallets were still a thing, right? Yeah.
They always survived, Brad. Yeah.
I feel like they're gone now. They're gone now in the 20s. Yeah. Just another thing COVID took care of is chain wallets.
You don't really have money anymore, do you?
No, that's it.
You could have your phone.
You could have your card on you could have your phone on a chain. Phone chains, we could bring that in, make that a thing. You heard it here first.
Your phone is in your man bag, and you swipe your watch, don't you?
Oh, yeah, your watch. Yeah, your watch chain doesn't really work because it's already attached to you. No one's going to thieve it out of your back pocket. The noughties, different time. A good time, to be fair. I look back upon it now and think, yeah, good times. What other music was out? 2006. There's still a lot of boy bands, hip hop. But I feel that emo, so these guys and what was the band that Pete Wentz was in?
Oh God, you're getting into them.
But that was what was out at the time, right? All that, it was sort of guitar bands were back in for a bit, but it was
what's the name of that band? You're freaking me out now.
Yeah. Hey. This
is not Panic with the Disco. It was.
I see, but that was another one though. Yeah, Panic at the Disco.
Pete went and the ginger on the guitar,
and the dude with the strange but good voice. Yeah, and he had sideburns all the time.
Can't yodel. This ain't.
It's a goddamn arms race.
Yeah, this ain't a scene, it's a goddamn arms race. That was their cool song.
They had the Deer song or something as well. And chaka, cock it and pull it, we're going down, down with a pretty river. And sugar, we're going down swinging. I beat his number one with a bullet. Loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it.
What was their fucking name?
Wow, we'll spend 40 minutes trying to figure out who it is. Now, if I just put Pete Wentz, somebody Google it. What's the modern age? Pete. I'm doing it. Let's Brad talk while he Googles Pete Wentz.
A scene.
Pete Wentz. Here we go, everybody. He was in the band
Fallout Boy.
Fallout Boy.
That's the one. Oh, look
The
at this.
goggles. The goggles, they do nothing.
Look at the hair straighteners. Look at this. You see, he hasn't got sideburns. He's got long hair down the side of his face.
That's it. And then they stick it to his cheek.
The singer's not an attractive man.
But you know what? Pete Wentz is older than me. He's probably... Well, how old are you now?
Me? It's my
People can hunt you down on the internet.
anniversary of my 20th birthday.
So you're 50?
It's gonna take you a long time, isn't it, Brad? 45, Brad. 45.
You said 2.5 anniversary. Yeah. Oh, all right. You just said it. I didn't need to work it out. Well, he's only 2 years behind you.
Hang on, it's going to take me a while to work it out.
Pete Wentz and his tattooed wiener are only 2 years behind you, and he's 2 years ahead of me. So he's right in the middle. It's a Pete Wentz sandwich between your podcasting hosts. Sorry, what band are we here to talk about? Black Parade.
I've got it written down somewhere.
Here we go. Black Parade. Let's get it back on track here, everybody.
We were talking about Goo Goo Dolls and then Green Day. It's a rock opera.
Remember
My Chemical Romance.
That's it. My Chemical Romance. So their band name's about the romance with drugs. I remember when it came out.
From a book.
Does it? They're so hip
with it. There was a book that was a collection of novellas, and it was something about Ventures of Chemical Romance, and they named the band after that.
Oh, delightful. They're very cinematic. I think their very first music video was like a play on a teen movie. Jeez, I can't remember what. Oh, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. And they scream and they're at a high school, right? That was my first introduction to My Chemical Romance. And I went, okay, there's the lead singer. He's got lots of hair gel and hair straighteners and eyeliner. And to be fair, I'm out. You know, it didn't appeal to me.
I thought that song was great. I was right into it.
All right. That surprises me.
No, it doesn't. You're lying.
No, nothing does these days with you.
I will fight you.
Yeah. I will fight you too.
I'm going to punch you in the nuts.
I will accept your hand in and around my genitalia, and then I'll knee you in the teeth.
I'm going to stand uncomfortably close and put my hand in your private region. How's that, buddy? Hey,
I'm going to
take that.
Well, I'm going to take it because action is action.
Fair enough. I see why we do these through the interweb.
Yeah, if we were together, it'd just be, grunting noises for half an hour.
Shall we just put this on pause for a couple minutes and talk this through, and then we'll come back?
No, the people need to hear this.
We've got to clear the air. Okay,
people need to hear this. I mean, they're 15 minutes into a podcast about My Chemical Romance. We haven't really mentioned them too much yet, but we're getting there. We need to sort out the
sexual tension is far more interesting than talking about My Chemical Romance. So let's just get through it.
Well, I think we're through it now. I think we're on the other side. I mean, you said you want to fight me in an aggressively sexual manner, and I just said yes. So
I don't know what to do with that information, but I am intrigued. I was hoping to see where it went, but never mind.
And then it just went straight to the destination. You were on the speed train.
I feel you're pulling away from me, and it hurts my feelings.
Well, it's better than pulling into you like prison.
Don't knock prison. It's a great way to meet people. Anyway.
My Chemical Romance. And then, that song came out, and I went, okay, it's another one of these emo rock bands. And look, I was happy that rock was on the airwaves or the telly, or, like it was out there again, but it wasn't. It was just too sort of power chord strummy to me, like it wasn't, I don't know, the punk. Was it punk? Would you call this punk? Punk emo? I don't know.
Yeah, it's punky, rocky, metally.
Yeah,
a
it was
bunch of
kind of
stuff.
it was kind of the direction that.
Are you talking about this album now, or are you talking about I'm Not
Yeah,
Okay?
I'm talking about this album and the whole scene, that style of music that is unfortunately where Green Day took us. I love early Green Day, but I think Green Day was the spark that ignited bands like this. That whole fast emo punk, strummy power chords. And
I
they
know. I
took
think
it.
Pearl Jam's got a lot to do with it too. You know.
This? No. No.
Yeah.
Pearl Jam. I couldn't see Pearl Jam doing eyeliner, whereas Billy Joe of Green Day, he's all about the eyeliner and hair gel now, you know? He was like
Certainly is.
he's the godfather of this stuff. Right?
It's a bit of
In
glam, isn't
saying
it? It's a bit of Poison.
bit of glam. Yeah, that's it. There you go. All right. Yeah, that's good. Bit of Motley Crue, I guess. You know, bit of
Bit of Bowie.
bit of androgyny, strummy chords, drummers that always look aloof, you know. But yeah, this record I remember got smashed to death. Music videos, radio. That Black Parade song was fucking everywhere, right? This is the hip new band. These guys are going to take over the world, and this is their rock opera. They're as good as Queen. They're as good as the Who. You know, they're doing a rock opera. But I didn't get the concept until you said it at the start of this recording. You know, even from listening to the album, I guess I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics or the story or anything they were trying. It was just like, okay, he's doing, what's the guy's name?
Gerard Way.
Gerard, that's it. He's doing this Gerard Way thing, and the band's doing their thing, and they have their thing, which is great. It's what you want as a band. You want to have a thing. And they do their thing very well, but you must be into their thing to enjoy it. Like Prison. You got to be into the thing to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Do you feel the same way, or do you feel differently to me?
I was totally into it. Got the album at the time, thought it was great. I didn't really look into
So you got it at the time.
album. I didn't know any of that stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I found it interesting. Apparently, Gerard Way, he was there at 9/11. He watched the first tower come down
Mm-hmm.
when that crashed, and he got inspired and decided he needed to create things and started My Chemical Romance after that.
Oh,
After that
nice.
terrible and tragic event.
It's a good kick up the butt, I suppose, eh? Watching thousands of people die. I need to make an album.
Yeah, 17,000 people in those buildings when they came down.
Really? I thought they only lost like 3,000 lives, or am I thinking about Pearl Harbor?
I think yeah, there were 17,000 people in the buildings. I think about 2,500 plus died, and I think more ticked up from chemicals in the air and all that kind of stuff over the time, or the firefighters. So I don't really know what the number really is now.
Chemical romance, you could say.
Bad taste, Brad. Bad taste. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, Brad.
It's better than
you're
throwing
gonna
little
soil our
people.
reputation. Jesus.
Yeah, our A-class, non-questionable, problematic podcast. Never problematic, I should say.
We'll edit it out like all the other problematic things we do.
Yeah, and then forget to edit them out and leave them in. That's all right.
Leave
If you think we're problematic, please go to, leave us a 5-star review and let us know how problematic we are.
Yeah. Tip and donate.
Tip and donate.
Yeah, it's the only way we'll get better. I'm right into it. I like the concept album. It was very inspired by Pink Floyd, The Wall, Queen, Spiders from Mars, David Bowie, all those kinds of things. A nice, interesting theme that plays all the way through it about a guy who's told he has cancer, 2 weeks to live. He realizes he has no loved ones, and no one. How I Disappear is about realizing you won't be remembered after your death.
Uh-huh.
And his reflection on his life. Mama features Mother War, because if you watch the Black Parade video, you'll see all the characters from this story. And she represents a fractured society. He realizes there is no heaven. And the song "Teenagers," which is a song that got bashed on the radio, as I remember. He realizes that he was groomed by society to be violent and desensitized. And then, famous last words: he realizes life is hard but worth living and something to fight for. Oh, oh, oh. So yeah, a complete story in an album. Doesn't that make you think they put some thought into this and told a real story?
For sure. Like, the dude's very artistic, no doubt about that. He's, didn't he write?
He does that TV show, novel. Umbrella.
Yeah, right. And that's doing huge things. I haven't watched that. The guy we mention occasionally on this podcast, my older brother, is right into the Umbrella Academy. So, he seems to have his finger on the pulse occasionally.
There's also Gerard Way is the cousin of Joe Rogan, who has a slightly smaller podcast than we have. But some people may have heard of him.
He's getting there. He's learning. He emails us all the time asking for tips.
We say, "Hang in there, Joe. Hang in there."
We say, "You'll get there, buddy," and we sort of rub his bald head and. Yeah. You'll get there.
We kind of laugh while we do it, though, don't we, Carl?
We do. I mean, the guy, he's got a good heart, but he's a fucking idiot.
He hasn't even got hair.
No.
And he took that horse medication. My God, what were you thinking?
Come on, Joe, do better. Do better. I'll talk to you later. Talk to you tomorrow.
Talking to scientists and interesting people. Good Lord. It's never going to catch him.
Guests? He's not even interesting enough. Like, we don't need guests.
We turn them down all the time.
Oh, my God. If you people could see our inboxes and the amount of calls that I have to just ignore from celebrities who, because of, lawyers and non-disclosure agreements, we can't mention their names, but
James Cameron, Axl Rose,
Madonna,
Bob Dylan,
Bruce Willis,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You remember that time Obama
Paris Hilton
tried to call Paris? We did take her call, Paris. Yeah, it's hard to ignore Paris Hilton.
We just wanted to party with her on a yacht.
Yeah, well.
We kind of led her along
that one time. It was good that one time, but her yacht wasn't as big as our yacht, so we had to say, we're leaving. If you can't fit 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools in your yacht, what are you even doing on the water?
Yeah, I don't really like hanging around poor people, to be honest, Brad. You know what I'm like.
It's so cringy.
Slightly snobby. But that's who I am. That's why people love me.
That's how you got to where you are today.
Sacrificing the weak.
Yeah. Are you still no, that's right. You said you're not buying that island. Yeah. Sorry, that deal fell through, didn't it? Yeah. Embarrassing.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I bulldozed it.
Okay. Yeah, you thought we don't need this many islands in the world, so you just pushed it all back in the ocean. That's right.
There was a rare endangered bird on there, but I didn't like the look of it, so I just bulldozed all the trees.
You ate the eggs, though, right? You spoke about this.
No, I just threw them off a cliff.
Oh, okay.
I was just joking when I said I was going to eat them. No, I just killed them.
Okay. I misheard you.
I was just joking, Brad. I was just joking.
Okay.
I'm a vegetarian. Yeah.
I bet all the members of My Chemical Romance are vegetarians or vegan. Do you think? They seem like a bunch of vegans.
It's just white makeup, isn't it? Probably. I don't know.
Skinny white boys making angry rock music.
They turned Elliot Page into a boy.
Oh. Well, good on Elliot. He's happy.
We got any what are we up to?
Oh, so when you bought this back in the day,
Yeah.
the first single, I guess, for us in New Zealand was The Black Parade, wasn't it? It was like,
I think it was the first song I seen. I remember I didn't really catch on to that one, but I remember I just got it anyway
mm,
for some reason.
you spent your hard-earned $30 on an actual physical CD.
I think I might have downloaded it.
Napster.
Yeah, it was back in the Napster days. But I remember just going, oh, wow, I really enjoy this. I thought the guitar work is great. There's one song on there where they do the Woodpecker thing as one of the guitar solos. It goes, yeah, one of the first songs.
Bunch of
I
talented
really
boys,
liked it.
sure.
I remember really being into I Don't Love You. I thought that was a great song, and Famous Last Words. And the rest of the album I thought was really, really great. Teenagers, thought that was a cool song.
Yeah.
I like the variety. I liked the theatrics, and I like the genre hops. You know,
Yeah.
I like Hells of Wolves. I think is the one that kind of has that. What did you call that music? The guys that zoot suits. The guys would wear the zoot suits.
Big band.
Yeah, that big band kind of music.
And jazz stuff. Look, I think for the tone of the album, like you put it on, you know what you're in for, right? That's that same guitar tone, but they've got you listen, put My Chemical Romance on, you know their sound. But in amongst their sound on this record is a lot of sort of musical cliches. There's a lot of genre cliches, I guess, like you say, the Woody Woodpecker riff, or Teenagers is kind of I don't know what words I'm trying to say here, which is good.
It's when kind you're of an old rock and roll song.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, like a 50s rock and roll or something, like, so they bounce around, but they do it well and it works.
Yeah, they said they wanted to create a classic album that would last 20, 30 years. And so it's, I don't know, I guess there's a lot of influences from a lot of different genres that pop into it.
Has it lasted 20 or 30 years, and would you call it a classic album?
Well, we're talking about it, and yeah, I think so. It's look on YouTube, a lot's written about it. It's a popular album. It was a big tour. Sold 4 million records worldwide. It's one of the big dogs.
But to be fair, peek behind the beef curtain, until you mentioned this to me for the album to do, I hadn't thought of this band since this came out. Oh, actually, no, since whatever the album was after this one, they had one single, which was super rad, that I liked way more than anything else they'd done. And the music video was the War thing. Fuck, what was that song called? I thought it was super rad. And then they just disappeared. I guess the band broke up.
I think they're back again now. Something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I did in our research for this. Saw some of their current tour. And he's a bigger gentleman now, but he's still getting it done.
They're all bigger gentlemen now, Brad.
We all are.
It's been 20 years, Brad.
Well, they got a new single out, Foundations of Decay. But I can't find the song that I'm thinking of. Oh, well, you talk for a bit. I'll find it.
Yeah. Well, gosh. What do I like? I don't think there's any bad songs on here for me. Everything's kind of great. I even enjoy Blood, like the secret track. I think it's a cool song. I thought the lyrics were great on this album. I think the lyrics are fantastic. I like the delivery. I like how he plays characters and gives different voices to the characters. I don't know, top notch. I really enjoy theatrical stuff like the Bowie stuff where there's characters and themes, and the way they dress as characters from the Black Parade. I love all that stuff. So right into it.
Okay, thank you for filling that space.
That's what she said.
I was referencing was called "The Ghost of You," but that might be off the album before this one, actually. "The Ghost of You." Anyway, great song. I think that's their best song, but I have no idea what album it's on. Oh, it's on this album, My Chemical Romance, which is, in fact, the album before. So the album before in 2004, and this came out in 2006. So they went downhill, in my opinion. I thought they got better.
I'm looking at the Spotify's. Looks like the big song to me. Teenagers, 588 million plays.
Oh, yeah.
It's only 2 minutes 40 long. Black Parade, about 540 million. It's 120 million. Mama, 130 million.
So they're all up there. These guys are getting some. They're getting some Spotify bank.
My favorite one, famous last words, 220. They've done well.
Yeah.
It's all pretty respectable numbers on here.
Oh, absolutely. It's a big deal. I think, they are the, are they the queen for the noughties generation? They're the big rock band for the kids that were, 16 to 20 in 2000, in the mid 2000s, in the noughties. These guys would be a big deal, right? Like early 90s, we had the grunge, the Nirvanas, the Pearl Jams,
I think they came and went a bit. You can't really compare them to Smashing Pumpkins, who had a bunch of big records.
Yeah, but those teenagers that are into My Chemical Romance probably don't care about Smashing Pumpkins or Nirvana. These guys would be their big band. Perhaps. Just throwing it out there. Maybe not.
So skippability. 14 songs, Brad.
Oh yeah. How
many would you skip?
Another one of those albums where you can put it on and not give a shit about it, and it just plays in the background. Because they're all kind of a similar kind of vibe. That's how I felt. Obviously, there's peaks and dips across the album, but I'm with you. Like Easy Winner, Famous Last Words, Teenagers. Like Black Parade has its place, but it's a bit too fucking marching band for me. Yeah. So I'll get out of 14. I'll just give it a. Let's say, depending on the day, I'll give it an 8 out of 14. I'll skip, but not any specific song. Like I'd only listen to 8 songs worth of it, and then I'm out. What about you?
Nothing's bad, but it carries on a bit too long.
Carries on. Yeah, it does.
I don't understand the reference. So I don't think there's any skippers, but it's just too much of a good thing. That would be my criticism.
Agreed.
Oh, that's a positive review, Brad. Too much of a good thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Brad's feeling happy.
I'm not going to rush out and buy this album because fucking nobody buys albums anymore, of course. And I'd never have My Chemical Romance in my collection. But, it's, as my rating will show at the end, it's not, I wouldn't put it in my fucking top 100. Or I wouldn't put it in my top, well, maybe it would. No. Well, I'd get, how you said Rolling Stone at the start put them at what? 390 something of the greatest albums of all time.
Is it 371?
I don't even know if I know 500 albums to make up my own personal 500 list. But if I was making, they definitely, no, they wouldn't make it. I don't think this would make my top 500 albums of all time.
But out of 14 songs, when you're saying you're skipping 6 of them, is there a bad song that you're going to go?
No, like I said,
I don't want to listen to.
This reminds me a lot.
It's just,
it's just like fucking Harry Styles. That Harry Styles albums that we spoke about. Go and check out that episode, everybody, as it was. All of it's just the same, you know. So
Yeah,
if you want to put on My
skippability
Chemical Romance, I could skip the whole fucking album. But if I'm putting on My Chemical
We're
Romance,
talking about weeding out the bad songs. Like, what's a bad song on here?
but to be
It's
fair,
all
I
the
could pick
same.
any of them. My Black Parade's kind of shit, really. Cancer, Mama, Sharpest Lives. They're all, if you like My Chemical Romance, you're going to like them all. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm putting this on,
It's perfectly fine. It just goes on too long, but it's not
yeah,
really a bad song.
that's what we
Yeah.
said. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. It's just
Yeah, but
not
skippability is what is the shit we got to get rid of, you know?
well. I could get rid of. Honestly, I could get rid of any, maybe even, but it's the big song like "Welcome to the Black Parade." I could fucking chuck that off and not have this in here at all. It's maybe because I heard it too much back in the day, but that marching band shit can go. Honestly, I'd keep it. Don't Love You. Maybe get rid of House of Wolves, Cancer, and Disenchanted. You know, like you could cut some faff out of here. Absolutely.
All right.
Get rid of 4 songs, get it down to 40 minutes.
Yeah. I'm on the same wavelength, except I like all the songs.
Well, then if you just asked me if you had to cut some out, what are you cutting out?
Yeah, that's what I say. It's all good. It's just it goes on too long. You need an edit. So the skippability for me is always trying to find the shit songs. Because most albums you get 3 good songs and a bunch of shit. A lot of albums you get, you know.
Oh, sure.
And so skippability for me is just pointing out the bullshit. This is like a good album, but there's too much of a good thing. A little too long.
Right. Okay.
So I can't really skip anything. I could listen to all of it, but there you go.
Sweet.
So what are you going to rate it? What are you going to rate it, Brad?
If I'm in an emo, if I'm feeling an emo day, and I want some Gerard Way in my ears, on a good day, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. I don't rate it that highly, but I understand that it's good musicians and music that people that are into it will dig. But I'm still only giving it a 6.5.
Wow. I'm going to give it an 8, and that's just goes a little long for me. Goes a little long, but otherwise I can't complain.
All right.
Otherwise, good effort. Good effort, Gerard. Good effort, boys.
Good effort, boys.
Good work.
Don't run out of hair gel and eyeliner. Bringing it back.
They haven't yet, Brad. They haven't yet. It's a good look. Are they still wearing it?
It's a good look when you're in your 20s. To keep doing it into your mid-40s, it seems a bit. You know, when the wrinkles come in.
You tell the Cure that, Brad.
Have you seen them lately? He's not looking good.
That's a ghost town.
He's not looking good at all. And
I saw a video of Poison. They're out on tour now.
Oh yeah.
It's like Bret Michaels. He used to be the guy with the washboard abs, like sick, you know.
Yeah.
And big biceps. Now the gut is hanging over the jeans.
Yeah. You know, look, do the same thing with Def Leppard. I just watched one of their recent live gigs, and it looks like you're fucking the lead singer looks like your auntie is going out to the supermarket to get some fucking bread rolls for the barbecue you're having later on.
They get old woman haircuts.
Yeah. But I guess the 80s babes love that, you know. The babes that were babes in the 80s are now, you know, they're grandmas. And so maybe they want their blokes to look like Nana's going to the supermarket on a Sunday. No offense, Joe Elliott, lead singer of Def Leppard, but you could look manlier, all right? You're a grown-ass man.
It's the rockers, they want to have long hair, but they also want to look nice for some reason. And so it's just like they've got a little bit of hair dye and they got like a 70-year-old woman's haircut.
Yeah, the edge is gone.
Like
You
they've
know?
gone to a wedding and the 70-year-old ladies.
Well, maybe it's no. You think if you look back, if you really ponder it, you look back in the 80s in their heyday, all those blokes had perms, right? This massive, big, curly, bouffant hairs, right? And that was the height of manliness. But when you think about it, a perm is a lady's haircut, right? And that was probably the modern auntie going to the supermarket in the 80s had a perm. So these rock stars went, fucking, that's the look, right? So they permed it up. And so now they go, right, what are old ladies going to the supermarket doing now? And it's all the Karens with their straight hair. So the Def Leppard guys have to have the same. Though, doesn't the bass player still have a massive fucking perm fro? I don't know.
I remember in high school there was a kid that got a perm, and apparently you
that's
had to
what
go
I'm
back
saying.
every 6 weeks. You had, I think it's called a perm, and you have to go back every 6 weeks or
Yeah.
something and get it redone. I was like, why don't they call it a temporary?
Yeah, it's not a permanent. Yes, my mother had the permanent, but I never saw a bloke that had one. So the fact that you had one in your life brings me great joy.
Oh, it didn't look good, Brad. Didn't look good back
No,
then.
fuck, I can believe it. I don't think it ever looked good even on the rock stars, but it was done, and it was done widely. So, hey, they probably got more pussy than either you and me combined will see in our entire lives in the space of a week with those perms. So even
Probably
the
not
motherfucker
me.
with the drummer with one arm, Dan, has had more poontang than you could even
Yeah.
imagine.
I'm sure he got more hand jobs than you can imagine, Brad.
Can you pretend to be my right arm, please?
If you just squeeze in behind me and just be my left arm for an evening.
Just that's it. You need more calluses.
I can't live without you. You're back. You're back. Touch my face. Touch my face.
Just like I remember it. Yeah. And that's My Chemical Romance, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we didn't go off the
back for
tracks
more.
too much.
No, it's, people don't come here to listen about the things they come here to listen about.
What?
They come here to listen to good old fashioned man banter, which we bring on occasion. Or we talk about Nana's haircuts.
Any haircuts. You got to have it if you're in a rock band. Unless you're
Hey.
Metallica and you're actually real men.
You know what? Fuck these pricks. They've all got hair, I couldn't grow the long afro even if I wanted to. Got to do the Billy Zane or the Billy Corgan.
I've still got my hair down to halfway down my back.
Do you? Do you brush it every night?
No,
no, sorry. You've
I
got
leave it
those
long and
ladies that do
wavy.
that. Yeah. You've got your harem that brushes your hair for you. I forgot. On that fucking bed with all those big poofy white pillows and then the silk. You're like an Arab sheik. That's what I recall your house.
I have a harem with ladies and they oil my washboard abs every afternoon after I've done 600 curls.
Yeah, I thought, what's that girl's name that feeds you grapes when you're reclining on the slouch?
I don't know, Brad. I don't name
I'm
them.
having a seizure. And there's that palm leaf waving bitch too. She's like,
I don't name. I replace them, so I don't like to get to know them.
oh right, yeah.
Sort of hurts. So, but
You have to rotate in and out of the basement. Yeah.
they get old, Brad. You can't keep them around.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm sure the listeners at home relate.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's got a fucking palm leaf waving bitch.
Brad, you don't call them bitches. The horse. Come on. Jesus.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, I gotta get waxed. All right. Bye.